Hey gang, we are in Palos Hills, Illinois, and we're at Sacred Heart Cemetery here. And I'm looking for the grave of a 13-year-old girl, her name Hillary Norskog. And thanks Carol for suggesting the story, one of our viewers. And a little bit of a quandary today. They say she's buried here at Sacred Heart. I checked with the Archdiocese. They have no record of her at all. And Find a Grave says she's here, but I could not find her grave walking it, so I'm not sure. I don't think she's here. So the challenge will be, can you help? Can anyone here, does anyone know where Hillary is buried? Because we'll do a circle back, but while I'm here, it's a beautiful tiny little cemetery on the side of the road surrounded by the woods, so I thought we'd take a walk. I'll tell her story, and again, if anyone knows, I'll do a circle back and we'll leave a yellow rose at her grave. It was a terrible story that happened here in this area, and I can't believe I don't remember hearing about it. You know, you always think, I say to myself, gosh, I've heard it all, these terrible stories, but this happened in '93, and her mom, Marcia Norskog, single mother, 3 kids. Hillary was the youngest, 13 years old, and it was actually on July 14th, '93. It was a Wednesday night. School was out. It was summer vacation, and Hillary was going out with her friends. You know, they would go out to the forest preserve. I remember I used to do that with my friends. I mean, in your teenage years, you're cruising around and you're just looking for something to do. Not bad, just to hang out with your friends. So that's what she was doing. Now, she had told her mother, she said, "Mom, I'm going to sleep overnight at a friend's house. Is that okay?" And Mom said, "Yeah. See you tomorrow morning," basically. And tomorrow morning came, and Hillary did not come home. Now, Marcia started making phone calls, could not find Hillary anywhere. And by 3 p.m., she was completely panicked, so she, as you can expect, called the police. Police came, they started an investigation, and now some information was coming out. Hillary's girlfriend said that they last saw her at a party that night, and the party was at the forest preserve, and they told the police that Hillary drove off, it was about 11 p.m., with a young man named Stephen File, and I'm not sure how to pronounce his name. It's P-F-I-E-L. We'll just go with File, might be Pile. But anyway, from Palos Park. I really don't care about how his name is pronounced correctly. We'll just mispronounce it on purpose, maybe. Anyway, now Marcia was terrified to hear that. She had seen this kid before. He'd been coming to the house. He wanted to go out with Hillary. He's much older. I think he was 17 at the time. And Mom did not want any part of that. They would not let him in the house. Creepy kid. And she warned her daughter, Hillary, to stay away. Stay away from this Stephen. And Hillary would always say, "Mom, you always say you have to give people a chance. You have to give people a chance." And of course her mom had to say, "Yeah, you're right, but I don't like this guy." Well, 2 days had passed and Hillary was still missing. On the 3rd day, it was July 17th. Sadly, they did find her. They found her body. She was dead. She was lying in these high weeds. It was in a vacant lot behind some houses. 2 local people were taking a morning walk and they discovered her body. And Hillary had been stabbed at least a dozen times. Well, what do you think police did? They headed straight for Stephen File's house. When they arrived, there was Stephen, all smug and comfy out front of his family house, washing his car in the driveway. Well, they took him away rather quickly. They confiscated the car, and shortly thereafter he was charged with first-degree murder. The smiling boy, the smiling little devil. They found a bloody knife in the front seat of his car, and they also found some blood on his clothing. And they started questioning him. They had him in the room, and what do you think he said? He said, "Oh, those were just Kool-Aid stains." That's what he said, Kool-Aid stains. And you got to imagine the police just rolled their eyes, said, "Yeah, right." Well, they had the stuff tested, DNA tested, and it turned out it was Hillary's blood. So we're going to trial. And this kid is going to be charged as an adult, which he was. So this is where the story really gets warped. It's the best word I can use for it, completely warped. He had been, we'll just start by saying he was being held in the Cook County Jail from the day he was charged for almost 3 months until October 8th. When his parents finally got him out, they posted the $100,000 bond to get him out. You see, this kid had been spoiled and coddled as a child, and he was still being coddled. The poor boy was in jail. Now, the whole time they had him in protective custody, he was in Division 10, a protective unit set apart from the jail's general population. But the violins started playing. We have the family defense attorney, Raymond Pijon. He was piping up, quote unquote, "The jail is no place for someone who has not been locked up for a period of time to be. It's not a healthy environment for him to be in with these kinds of people. These people that he would be locked up with." Yeah, that poor thing. Well, anyway, they got him out, and the legal proceedings started. And of course, the little ghoul would plead not guilty. So here's what's going on. The court case is grinding along. It had been 20 months later since Hillary's body was found. The little fiend is on bail, a free boy. The parents continue to spoil him. And they would pay for that like you can't even imagine. Because like I said, here's where it gets warped. The next thing that happened was, it was St. Patrick's Day. The parents are out. They're trying to get their mind off this horrible dark cloud, this whole trial, everything that's going on. Can you imagine? And they come home from the party. Kids are at home. Now Stephen has a brother, older brother, a sister. They come home from the party. They come around the street. They're thinking, "We're going to get back. It's been okay. It's been fun. We got our minds off it. We're going to go back and chill. We're going to go to bed." They come around the corner. Down the street, and they look, and there's 6 squad cars, 2 ambulances. Everything's lit up. They're right in front of their house. They're like, "Oh my God." They go into the house, and the police stop them, and they're like, "Your son Roger Jr. is dead." Roger was clubbed to death with a baseball bat, and his throat was slashed from a cleaver, like a kitchen cleaver or something. And they're like, "Well, it wasn't an intruder. It was your son Stephen. And by the way, he raped his sister." Yeah. He raped his sister in the process. How can you even think up a story like that? You can't. It's just unbelievable. So that was kind of it. What else can I say about this story? the little baby-faced monster. Stephen File is currently locked up in Menard Prison. He's still there, where he has been and where he will be, most likely until the day he dies. And I have to tell you, this person from birth has got to be, you know, born with evil. Born with evil. You don't say it often, but what else can you say? Like, what would motivate you to do all of these things? Your own brother. They said he was in bed. His brother, they were watching TV in his brother's bedroom, and his brother fell asleep, and Stephen went out to his room, smoked some pot, came back, and he's looking down at his brother in bed, and he's like, his brother's sleeping. He goes and gets a baseball bat and says, I'm just gonna like bash his head in. And then he said he was going into convulsions, so I didn't want him to die slowly, so I went in the kitchen, I got this, whatever it was, and I just like slit his throat. Then I raped my sister while I'm at it. Anyway, pure evil. So, listen, thanks for tagging along. Beautiful cemetery here. Maybe we can find Hillary's grave. I'll come back. Anybody, let me know in comments. Let's find Hillary. Pay our respects. Rest in peace, Hillary, and rest in peace, Roger Jr. Let me know if you know anything. All right, see ya.